Got it.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Liam Moyer. I just started the channel How to Disc Golf. I'm here with the famous, the legendary, one of the farthest throwers I've ever met in person, Scott Stokely.
Yeah, before I aged out, no, I throw okay.
We're gonna see some fun shots farther. Cool. Well, the reason for today's video is that I'm trying to create discussion with inside of the disc golf community about how we can grow this sport. So I have a bunch of note cards with me. What we're gonna do today is we're gonna play a couple holes and finish at top of the world at De La Viega, and we're gonna answer some of these questions. All right, so Scott, my first question for you is, pay-to-play courses, such as Eagles Crossing, the one that you've been to, do they help legitimize the sport in what ways?
Yeah, of course. I mean, look, capitalism, the free market, that makes things go. When people are incentivized to run a business, especially to be an entrepreneur, they're going to create. This is more of a general philosophy, but it applies to our sport too. If someone says, hey, I could quit my job, buy a piece of land, put in a course, and I could actually keep the electricity on in my home with my pro shop and my greens fees, that course exists that wouldn't have existed had the person not had the opportunity.
Absolutely.
And most courses are free. So it's not that it's not excluding anybody from playing, there's options. There's still free courses, there'll always be.
And one thing I want to bring up too, and I want to push more golf courses to do this, because I've seen a lot of golf camps, especially with the youth and everything, that teach kids how to go out there and golf. And I'd love to see more of that inside of disc golf. And I think with these private courses, they can start thinking about ways to offer these summer camps to kids, or offer after-school programs or something to get them more involved in disc golf. And I think private courses will have more of an ability to do that since it is disc golf specific.
Yeah, of course. I mean, anything that makes people do stuff. I mean, our sport was built on the backs of volunteers, which without them, we wouldn't exist. I mean, I'm talking tens of thousands of volunteers from TDs all the way to the spotters. And like, we wouldn't be here without them. But there's a ceiling on what people can just give. When they're incentivized, they'll give more. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of everything you're saying.
Cool, awesome. Let's go see Scott throw, and we'll get on to the next question after that. Tell the camera, what are you throwing right now?
I am going to throw a sake bomb felon.
Awesome, let's see it.
Problem. That's gonna skip in the hole, watch.
Oh, very close, very close.
Could have. It's a good shot.
All right.
So Stokely Discs is the company that, well, it's my company. I don't design the discs. That's a whole art form I don't possess. But my machines, my warehouse, my molds. 2 discs out, the Cardinal, which is a overstable mid, which I will throw now. And that is gonna go in the hole. Let me get out of the way.
Skip. Oh.
Why are those not skipping in?
A beautiful day out at De La Viega, seriously beautiful. All right. So I'm sure you guys have met before, but Conrad Damon, he said that COVID was one of the best things that happened to the sport. And I would have to agree with him in terms of growth, getting people out there. COVID was the biggest time. I mean, you look at the statistics of players that have signed up, it's never been higher since COVID, and now it's kind of flattened out. Do you think there's going to be any other big boom like this in disc golf, or is it just going to be pretty steady on from here?
So, I mean, yeah, I mean, anything can happen that can create another boom. I mean, the right type of the promotional deal, the right type of TV exposure, appearing in the right movie, the right celebrity playing. Like, it's hard to predict. I mean, if we knew what the magic bullet was, then everybody would go, you know, buy that bullet. So, you know, a lot of it's just happenstance. But the thing is, the sport had been growing steady for 43 years. So it was, by the way, I'm out of breath.
Yeah, me too.
But I mean, the sport had been growing steady for 43 years without a decline. So it's not like it happened because of COVID. So the COVID saw an increase in the number of players playing, but it's not like twice as many people were playing or twice as many courses went in. It was a bump, and now it's leveled off. Kind of. I mean, it's maybe leveled off, but it is still growing globally for sure.
I would
At
agree.
about the same original rate. So this is probably the wrong disc. It's an understable disc. I'm going to throw at hyzer, but
Cool. Let's see how it turns out.
yeah, that's not the right. Well, that's not bad. It's probably a putt.
Yeah, that's putt. That's definitely a putt. All right, so my question for you, I guess, is how can we make the game more accessible to seniors?
More accessible to seniors.
This is from Rod Fink.
So right now, UDisc is working on something which is unbelievable, which is they're going to give course designations. They're going to have courses that are wheelchair accessible, and then I believe, please don't quote me on this, but they're calling it like cane accessible or something like that, which means it's not for people solo in wheelchairs. That's a whole level of accessibility required. But cane accessible means it's an easy course to get around.
Yeah.
And that would be for, well, probably little kids, people with other disabilities, but who are still more mobile, certainly seniors.
All right, so Scott, I recently saw that you worked with somebody in a wheelchair and taught them how to throw.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I've actually, it's an organization, quotes on organization, but an initiative I created called Blue Power. I've now gone to 287 cities and taught a free class for kids and adults with special needs. Special needs was the initial term because that kind of almost implies like autism or Down syndrome. I'm moving it towards calling it adaptive because it also includes paraplegic, cerebral palsy, I mean, spina bifida, there's a whole range that don't always want to be called special needs. But it's just about adapting the game to every single player. So the game of golf is just infinitely adaptable. If you have a player that will never be able to throw as far, make shorter holes. Then you didn't even change the game.
And
It's
what do
magic.
you tell these players who get unmotivated when they can't seem to achieve to throw certain shots, or they get frustrated trying to attempt a putt or a long drive or a forehand that they've never tried before?
Good, that's healthy. You're supposed to get frustrated when you try to do something and don't succeed at it. That's not a bad emotion. From you getting frustrated is what drives you to improve and get better. Like, it's basically the anti-participation ribbon philosophy, which is it's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to set goals and expectations for yourself and be disappointed when you don't meet them and keep working towards them. You can have fun along the way and you can have fun throughout the process. Just because you succeed or fail shouldn't affect your fun. But I would never tell someone not to get frustrated if they're playing a sport and not doing it as well. I mean, that's golf 101, going out to the course and getting frustrated because, you're not breaking 80. So, yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Okay, awesome, cool. Let's get some throws in. I'm gonna give this
All right,
a
go
shot.
for it.
While I'm throwing here, Scott, one question I want to ask you.
Sure.
This is coming from Michael Regula. He wants to know how more public parks with enough space for practice baskets, but not a course, how can they even be aware? What can we as a community do to reach out to people? Because I've seen
The places that have baskets and not courses, yeah, that's easy. Fluent Disc Sports, and hopefully you can put a link down below. Fluent Disc Sports has developed they've developed something that is what pickleball was to tennis. It's about bringing the sport into smaller areas with much less of a footprint on the environment, requiring far less area to play a game similar to disc golf. It uses baskets, it uses throws and challenges and obstacles, but it's adapting the game for a smaller area.
And I've seen so many people get into disc golf just through putting leagues held at breweries or music venues even that I've seen. And people who are unsure, they come with a friend or a partner, and then they try putting and they find out it's really fun. Because honestly, throwing these plastic circles around, it's the most fun you could have, seriously. I mean, there's no reason why we're out here doing this right now if we're not having fun. So.
Right, for sure. But yeah, no, but seriously, check out Fluent Disc Sports. They're doing something really special, specifically for schools and urban areas, and just parks don't have a lot of room. It's really, really neat.
Awesome. Cool.
Go for it.
Fluent Disc Sports, let's get it.
Yep.
All right. Little hyzer shot. Flip up the right side.
There you go. Nice shot. That's perfect. And I have to try one more now,
Cool.
just for
Thank you. Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna throw it. I'm gonna throw mine a little higher. I'm gonna get an ace this time. I'm committed to it. Oh, I tried to go too high, and that's gonna roll to the bottom of the hill. No, it stayed on top.
There you go. They love. That's looking pretty.
At least that was better.
Yeah, that's the right line for sure.
Ah,
All right, Scott, as we walk down this fairway,
yes, sir.
my next question for you.
Yes.
Does disc golf need more beginner-friendly courses or more championship-level courses?
More championship level courses.
Why do you say that?
I will tell you a story. I was walking with the head of the parks department, or one of the heads, in Cincinnati, talking about Idlewild, the course, the Pro Tour course at Idlewild. And I think the tournament director was with me or something, or one of the assistant TDs. But we were just walking and talking, and I was just raving about the course. I love the course at Idlewild. They take 27 holes. They take some baskets out to combine some holes to make them longer, and they change some baskets, but they make a championship course. And I was like, this is such a great course. People in Cincinnati are so lucky they get to play it. And he says, well, it's only like this 2 weeks a year. And I'm like, what do you mean? Why is it only 2 weeks a year? And he goes, well, because we want it to be more family friendly. And I said, how many courses do you have in Cincinnati? And he says, 67. And I said, you have 66 family friendly courses. Why would you take out a world-class championship course to make a 67th family-friendly course? You have 67 courses, or 66 courses that families can go play.
And so do you think
you had
areas...
one championship course? It makes no sense to not have those courses. If you have one course in a town, maybe family-friendly makes sense. But if you have 3, 4, 5 courses, why wouldn't you have a good one?
I agree.
Look, in ball golf, people pay a lot of money to go shoot 110 on a championship course. That has never discouraged ball golfers from playing just because they're like, oh, I can't shoot par out here, so I'm not going to golf. Like, no one shoots par in ball golf. Like,
it's worth it.
Because it's worth it, and it's hard, and they get to compare themselves to the top players. Like, I was telling the guy, I said, you got this course in Idlewild where the pros come in once a year, you see what they shoot. Everybody in Cincinnati can come out there and see, well, how do I stack up against the best in the world? And then when they watch Disc Golf Network and they're like, I think I'm playing pretty good. I think I can do it. And they go out to the course and they're like, oh, yeah, that's a different game they're playing. Like, that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing.
And it gives you something to strive for. And it really just does show
Yeah.
you. I mean, I remember doing OTB Open, and I must have been double digits over par. I still felt like I wasn't doing that bad on the course, but then you look at what everyone else is doing, and you're right, it's just a completely different game. I mean, these are people that dedicate every living, breathing second to this sport.
And they're also the top, 100 out of 15 million people. I mean, it's in all professional sports, the top players are outliers. Like, you put them on a curve, and then out here at the end is this little itty bitsy tiny little group of the top pros.
Like, you look at people like you or AB or Calvin who are just so tall and lengthy, you guys are just naturally going to throw the disc better than most people.
I won't say better because of height. I mean, physics will let you throw farther, but like everybody on the Pro Tour throws far enough. Distance is rarely a factor on the Pro Tour, to be honest. It's about keeping it in the fairway at 450 or 500 feet, and everybody on tour throws 500 feet. So, like, that's within the range. So the distance gain is, yeah, I mean, there are courses and holes where there's an advantage, but it's not as big of an advantage. I mean, Paul McBeth is not tall.
Yeah.
And he's the best. So,
exactly.
So yes, it's an advantage, but so is putting good, so is having rollers, so is playing in the wind, so is a strong mental game, so is good disc selection, so is good strategy, so is being healthy. So is making circle 2 putts, so is scramble rate, so is fairways and regulation. So it's an advantage, but it's one of many.
Remember, folks, putt for dough.
Get in the hole.
Oh!
I can do that still, apparently.
All right, we are at the famous top of the world, probably the most beautiful hole in disc golf. Little gray skies, you still see the ocean. We're gonna end this with one last question, and this is gonna
how
be...
to throw a berg 550 feet.
I wish. I wish.
I'm gonna do it. Okay.
Scott, my big question
Yes.
for you is this. How would you approach an NFL team to get them involved in disc golf?
So I'm gonna give I'm not gonna give the best answer. My answer would be, why would you approach an NFL team to get them? They're already invited to play. If they want to play, they can play. I went to do a celebrity pro-am at Ben Askren's Funky Farms disc golf course just 2 years ago, and I think 2 of the 8 celebrities were NFL players, I believe. So that's a pretty huge representation.
I agree.
They were 25% of the celebrities were NFL players. So they were overrepresented. All right.
Let's end this video, Scott.
I'm gonna throw the berg, the 550-foot berg throw. If I ace with a berg, this will be a miracle.
This is the most epic video ever.
I don't even know if it's possible. That is not gonna even go halfway to the hole. Okay,
You know what, the fact you threw a berg that far, it still blows my mind.
Maybe it's not a berg throw.
Maybe not.
Okay, I'll got one for you. Ready for this? I'm gonna do a trick shot. How about that? I will do a great. I will throw this trespass under my leg inside the circle. Okay, here we go. Uh-oh.
Parking lot! Oops. Might have to...
That wasn't me! Okay, I just threw the wrong disc. So I'm gonna throw I needed something more stable. The felon under my leg, under the basket. In the circle.
Oh, I'm liking that. I think that's gonna be right there, Scott.
All right, circle maybe?
Cool. I'm gonna try one little forehand before we get headed out of here.
Okay.
And honestly, let me know what you think. I don't know how good my forehand actually is. I'd love to hear it from a pro.
Okay. Yep, come to my clinic.
There we go, that's the answer.
Come to the clinic, I'll fix that forearm. I mean the sidearm, no problem. Whoop.
There you go. Little Michael Jackson action.
That was good, though.
Yeah, that was a good catch, man.
For someone my age, that's like a broken hip in the works.
All right, we're finishing it off. Scott, what do we got here?
I'm gonna birdie with my Ren now that I'm warmed up.
Show us the profile of that disc real quick.
It's like a P2, except better because I'm the one making the money off it.
There you go.
Got it.
Oh! Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Scott Stokely and How to Disc Golf at the beautiful De La Viega course. Thank you so much for an awesome round, dude. Seriously, pleasure talking about things we talked about today.
Those are actually great questions. I didn't know how to answer half of them, so hope.
They're tough. I definitely put the pressure on a little bit with some of them.
They did a little bit. They weren't questions I'm used to getting, so. I don't share, I share different opinions than a lot of people, so.
But these tough questions is how we grow the sport, and I firmly believe that. So speaking of growing, the 200th person to follow my account on Instagram, HowToDiscGolf, will receive this Huck Lab Raider signed by the man himself.
Right on. I'd be happy to sign it. Oh my God, that is. Is
it too thin, the other side?
No, it reminds me of all right, there you go.
Cool, appreciate it.
No, it just reminds me of an old I feel like I'm signing the Declaration of Independence or something.
Like a little feather pen.
It's a little feather. I don't know. Now I'm really impressed with that document. I was impressed with the Constitution at first, but now seeing what they had to go through to write it.
Awesome. Knuckles. And one of you guys is going to be a lucky winner. Remember, number 200, you guys will get this Huck Lab Raider. This is How to Disc Golf. This is Scott Stokely.
Thank you, sir.
Checking out. Thank you so much, Scott. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.